avoid any confrontation with the enemy. He'll forget his evil ways and learn to love us.
I am confused. Being philosophically consistent and being a very honest person, I'm sure you can tell me where God came from.
That you're thinking of the wrong, obviously it displays that you're thinking of the wrong God. Because the God of the Bible is not affected by time, space, or matter. If he's affected by time, space, or matter, he's not God.
This is the Philosophically Poetic Show. Right here on FM.
Welcome to it. You are tuned into Philosophically Poetic right here on Active FM, where radio has never been better. I don't know where or why you've been listening to that you've thought is better than Active FM, but to be quite honest, radio has never been better. We have the hottest shows with the hottest topics. We've got the hottest DJs on the planet. I mean, we are international. Yeah, I said it. We are international, and we are still speaking about atheists. Going on in this series, atheism versus theism, and very interesting for me. I actually didn't know this, but there's actually a separation in the branch of atheism. So not all of them that don't believe in God are atheists. There's actually a distinguishing factor that makes you either atheist or an agnostic. And now, an agnostic atheism is a philosophical position that encompasses both atheism and agnosticism. And then agnostic atheists are atheistic because they do not hold the belief in the existence of a deity, and are agnostic because they claim that the existence of a deity is either unknowable in principle or currently unknown in fact. Now, an atheist is someone that says, I don't believe in God. I don't believe there's a higher power. Now, an agnostic is someone who says that I don't believe in God, but I believe that there's some sort of superpower somewhere, somehow, that brought everything together, but I don't believe in a God. And now this can get confusing. I mean, this belief it's really baffled my mind, and which is why today's topic is very interesting for me to speak about, because many atheists think that their atheism is the product of rational thinking, but is it? Are atheists rational? And that is what we're speaking about today. Is it rational or irrational to be an atheist? Because many atheists say that being a Christian is irrational. We're going to dive deeper into this topic. You do not want to miss a second of it. Before we get into the hype, we are going to get into this song. It's called Inception by Active Worship. It is going to be lit. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Johan Kruger from Creation Ministries International. Just want to say to you that I serve a great and wonderful God that created everything, and He created me, and He also created you.
spoke over me from the beginning, in pursuit of who you made me to be. I have a new reality. Let the anointing pour out as my praise goes forth. We're going back to the start.
Active FM. Now, one of the reasons I love this song Inception is it's because it speaks about going back to our original when God made us. And I just want to tell you this. I mean, when God made you, he looked at you and he was like, you are perfect. He was like, there's nothing I would change. There's nothing I would make differently. You are perfect. And in the beginning, he made us for an original design. He made us for a specific purpose. He made us to be in relationship with him. And that is what going back to the original is, going back to the beginning. We were made rulers over the earth. When he made Adam, he said, have dominion over the earth, subdue it, and all of that stuff. He was basically prophesying rulership and giving the crown, the ownership of the earth. I don't know if you get how deep or how big what I just said is. He gave the ownership of the entire earth. Now think of the earth in its entirety. Think of the earth in its fullness. The earth is huge, and he gave the ownership of the earth to Adam, and he was like, you rule, you have dominion, you subdue, you replenish, you... How great is that, to think that we have rulership? And the song is basically speaking about going back to that place where we have rulership and dominion over the earth. And that is why I love the song. It is by Active Worship. You can find it on anywhere that you download music, and you really need to get the album. It is incredible. The album is also entitled Inception. Now, many atheists, as I said before, think that their atheism is a product of rational thinking. Many atheists actually have said that Christians don't think rationally, that they are basically being brainwashed, mind controlled, they are useless in their thinking capabilities and stuff. Now, I want to tackle this because are atheists really rational thinkers? They use arguments such as, I don't believe in God and I believe in science, to explain the evidence or logic rather than a supernatural belief and dogma underpin their thinking. But because you believe in evidence-based science research, which is a subject to strict checks and procedures, doesn't mean that your mind works in the same way. Now, first of all, I want to say this. Science is a series and a collection of hypotheses. Nothing in science has been proven with regards to the beginning of the earth. They can hypothesize, they can say we've come up with this that shows us that this has been alive for 400,000 years, but they have no proof. They cannot actually go back in time and say, this is how it started. They can do their experiments, they can say this because of this is equal to this, but to be quite honest, that does not mean that's the reality of it. And that is the basis, the weight of the atheistic argument. When you look at it, that is what they think is the underpinning factor as to why they cannot be a god, something that hasn't been proven. I could literally say, you know what, I hypothesize that under the ocean there is whatever, and the reason for me saying it is because the ocean is blue on the top but gets darker at the bottom, so there's no light at the bottom. Okay, something stupid like that, listen. And basically because I have given evidence, empirical evidence, that is said to be true. And to be quite honest, that isn't true. Now, when you ask atheists about why they became atheists, as this guy who wrote this article does for a living, they often point to a eureka moment when they came to realize that religion simply does not make sense. Oddly, perhaps, many religious people actually take the similar view of atheism. This comes out when theologians and other theists speculate that it must be rather sad to be an atheist. Now, a theologian or a theist is someone who believes in God. They study God. Theologians study God. Theists believe in God. And atheists, the A meaning no, and then the theist meaning God. So basically no God. So basically this is what they think. And lacking so much of the philosophical, ethical, mythical, and aesthetic fulfillment that religious people have access to. Stuck in a cold world of rationality only. Now, I want to pin this out because we all know that there is a world that we don't understand, that we don't see into. Now, if you look at it, even atheists need to agree. There is a world that we don't see. This world we see now, the third dimension. But there's a fourth dimension, a spiritual dimension. I mean, if you think about your life, where does your life come from and where does your life go to when you die? Where does your life come from? Because you can look at your physical body, but your life, when a dead body is laid in front of you, hopefully not, because I don't like dead bodies, but when a dead body is laid in front of you, where has the life in that body gone? They can't move anymore. There is life in people that you cannot see, you cannot grasp. And in science, let me just tell you this, energy cannot be created or destroyed. You cannot destroy energy. It cannot just disappear. It is a law in science. So life is an energy, and they've done readings on humans and they've seen that there's an energy in us humans. So where does that energy go? Does it just... And that is the spiritual dimension. So many atheists want to base it on this world that they can see, but they're not thinking about the world that they cannot see. And if we're talking science here, many things in science support the fact that there is a God. And let me not just say there is a God. There is one God, an ever-living God, the one who sent his son Jesus to come and die on the cross for us. Now, the science of atheism. The problem that any rational thinker needs to tackle, though, is the science of increasingly shows that atheism are no more rational than theists. Indeed, atheists are just susceptible as the next person to a group think and non-rational forms of cognition. For example, religious and non-religious people alike can end up following charismatic individuals without questioning them, and our minds often prefer righteous over truth. As the social philosophic Jonathan Haidt has explored. Now, let me break down what is being said here. Atheists and theists both believe. I know atheists like saying I don't believe, incorrect. Atheists and theists alike believe. Now, the only difference is they don't believe in God and we believe in God, but that's the only difference between us two. But the factor of belief is in each and every one of us. They just believe in science and a big bang, and we believe in a God. Now, for them to come after Christians and say you guys are irrational for believing is sort of like, but you are irrational for believing what you believe as well. So we are going to dig deeper into this rational and irrational thought of atheists. You do not want to miss a second of it. Right now, we are going to go into a song entitled Take Us Back by Active Worship. You do not want to miss it. Let us get straight into it.
Let us be praise to Jesus, who gave all to free us. What an awesome life you give it to take us back to the beginning. What an awesome life.
Live, right here on Active FM, we bring to you the Active Worship Inception album.
The joy of the Lord is my strength. I rejoice at your word, unfading. I've been set free instantaneously. I find myself in the presence of the cross. Let my life be defined by your endless victory.
You can stream the album on Spotify and Apple iTunes. If you're interested in downloading the album, well, contact us for more info.
Active FM is the place where Christ music is the hottest music on the land. We support all things Christ music. And now we are speaking, going back to the original, finding our original design. What in the heck were we made for? Who were we created for? What is the basis of our being? Are we alive for a reason? Do we have a purpose? And now, even atheists' beliefs themselves have much less to do with a rational inquiry than atheists often think. We now know, for example, that non-religious children of religious parents cast off their beliefs for that reason, and it has nothing to do with intellectual thinking. Now, many people, and I've seen this as well myself, where they're like, oh my gosh, my mom raised me up in church. I never understood church. I never believed in church. She'd always force me to go to church and all of this. And these are the people that actually don't get an encounter with God. Now, let me explain it to you. I can tell you there's a God. I can tell you everything that has happened in my life that has made me believe that there's a God. You will tell me that that is what you want to think, and if that what works for you, then that's fine. Funny story. I actually one day we're evangelizing. We do ministry in a university called the University of the Witwatersrand, otherwise known as WITS, in Johannesburg, South Africa. And basically I was evangelizing to one of these girls, basically telling her about Jesus. And I told her about my life experiences and what I believe, and she basically looked at me and said, I am happy for you if that's what makes you happy, if that what lifts you up as a person, if that what makes you happier as a person. I am happy for you, but I don't believe what you believe. Now, I can tell you about God till the cows come home. I can tell you about what he's done in my life, what he's done in our church, miracles I've seen, miracles that have happened. All you'll think is I'm telling you fictional stories, or you'll think that's good for you, but that's not real life. In order to know God, you need to have an encounter with God. There needs to be an element of encountering God, because if you are not encountering God, then, to be quite honest, then you won't really know him in his entirety. God is way more than, I feel his presence. He's way more than I think. He is way more than all of that. He is the name above all names, the one who gave a life in the beginning. He breathed life into us. And the only way you can get to know this big God who created the universe, who created the cosmos, if I could say it that way, because people like to be fancy. The cosmos are telling me that I should go and have lunch. Oh my goodness, Mother Nature does not agree with my outfit today. Oh, the universe is drawing me towards. People like thinking that way, but I was just trying to be fancy and say the cosmos. But the God who created the universe, the God who created the cosmos, if you have an encounter with him, that's when you start to know God. That's when you start to see who God is. That's when you start feeling God. That's when you start seeing him work in your life. Otherwise, miracles will happen in your life and you'll play it off. You will say that wasn't God, it was my shoe, because my shoe came off at the right time, and then I had to run back for it, so the car missed me and I didn't get back. You will always play off miracles. Now, the latest cognitive research shows that the decisive factor is learning from what parents do rather than what they say. So if a parent says they're Christian, but they've fallen out of the habit of doing things they say should matter, such as praying or going to church, their kids simply don't buy the idea that religion makes sense. Now, I'm not a parent, but my pastors always say this. And I am going to say this because I believe in what my pastors say. My pastors are incredible parents. They have a 24-year-old daughter and a 22-year-old daughter. And they are successful in ministry. They are on fire for God. They are focused beyond what I could ever imagine focus could look like. They are living the godly life. And you wonder, because many pastors' kids fall off the rails. We've seen it happen. You wonder how they've gotten it right. And when I listen to what they say and I listen to their advice, I always take that as what is real, because they are such successful leaders, parents. They're successful in their marriage. Everything in their lives is godly. Now, my pastors always say that as a parent, your kids won't do what you say, they will do what you do. Now, I can also testify to this, not only saying that I believe what they say because they've said it, but I can testify to this. My parents would often say, do this, and I'd see them do the opposite, and I'd do the opposite. Because your parents don't look at what, your kids don't look at what you say, they look at what you do, and they're like, but mommy's telling me to do A, B, C, D, but she's doing F, J, K. So I'm going to do F, J, K. And that's rational thinking. Kids won't do what you say. Kids will do what you do. That's why, as a Christian parent, it's very, very important that you start living the word, because when they see you living the word, then they will start living the word. And the perfect example is with my pastors, how they live the word, and they kids in their house live the word, and they kids in the church, because I regard myself as one of their kids. We live the word because we seeing the example, not only hearing what they teach, but we're seeing their lives, modeling their lives after Christ, and we model our lives after Christ as well. Now, you need to, as a parent, begin to do what you preach to your kids, because if you're a parent and you say, don't smoke, smoking is bad, and then they see you with the cigarette, they're like, what do you mean it's bad? You're smoking, you're fine. Then they go and smoke, and then you find out they're smoking, and then you're upset. No, you taught them to do that. And many kids fall out of the faith because their parents are like, oh, I'm Christian, and then their dad goes and cheats on their mother, their dad is beating their mother, everything is happening. You need to start living the word. Jesus never said thou shalt go and hit people. No, Jesus said, husbands, love your wives as I love the church. Jesus didn't beat us. I didn't see a moment. In fact, he took beatings for us. Jesus didn't live the opposite of the word. He lived perfectly in the word, and that's what we need to start doing. And I regard myself as a parent as well. Let me explain. I do not have any kids, but I am a leader of people, and I am leading them spiritually. I am guiding these girls, and I see myself as their parent, because they look to me when they need stuff. They look to me for advice. They look to me as to what is she doing? Okay, I will do the same thing. And it's a spiritual factor. If you are doing the wrong thing, even if you're people that are under you, if you're a pastor, the people that are under you, if you're a leader, the people that are under you, if you're a parent, the people that are under you, if you are the leader of your clique, the people that are following you, anyone who follows you, your younger siblings, if you are a leader and you're doing the wrong thing, even if they don't know, it affects them. We need to start being accurate and living the word, that so people can themselves come to God. Now, this is perfectly rational in a sense, but children aren't processing this on a cognitive level. Throughout evolutionary history, humans have often lacked the time to scrutinize and weigh up the evidence, needing to make quick assessments. That means that children, to some extent, just absorb the crucial information, which in this case is the religious belief, and doesn't appear in matter the way that their parents say it does. Now, if you're a parent and you're saying, I believe in God, let's pray, and then the next day you're like, God, why would you do this? And you're shouting at God in front of your kids. Your kids are like, but you know, but didn't you say? But you said God always. And let me just tell you this one thing. God is never silent. The heavens have never gone silent. God is not sitting in heaven like, I don't know how she's gonna deal with this one. Hey, Gabriel, just put her on mute. Hey, she's praying for too much now. She's doing the most. She's just doing. God is not in heaven doing that. He's not in heaven going, I know, Gabriel. This freak. It's been months. I just forget her. Let us focus on this brilliant child. This one. This one. Here I created. Here. Gabriel, look at my child. He's not doing that. The heavens have never been silent on you. God is never silent on you. He is your biggest cheerleader. He is saying in every situation, I know you've stuffed up, come back to me. My arms are wide open. It is the heart of God. It is the heart of an everlasting God who loved us so much. It's mind-blowing. It blows my mind even today. He loved us so much that he sent his one and only son to die on the cross for us. It is the heart of that God that drives us every single day to win people, to love people, to forgive people. It is the heart of that God. And only through an encounter with him, only through you living the word, can you show people this amazing God. He is amazing. He is worthy of all praise. He deserves all praise. And I just want to stop there because, whoa, it is getting deep. We are going to go into a couple of don't move. We are about to go into the last segment of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Active FM. Hot presenters,
the best topics, the most entertaining presenters, everything you could ever want in radio.
We're lifting Jesus up, we're lifting Jesus up, we're lifting.
Radio has never been better.
Now, we are speaking atheists, and we are speaking the fact that sometimes atheists say that they are rational, but are they actually irrational? And the branches of atheism, there's agnostics and atheists and agnostic atheists and the likes. There's a lot that goes on in atheism, and we are going to keep digging into this matter. If I can just leave you with the last word of encouragement, whether you are a pastor, whether you are an older sibling, a younger sibling, whether people are following you, whether you are a spiritual leader of people, I would just say we need to become doers of the word now more than ever before. We need to start living the word. We need to start loving people. We need to start living what we preach, because people are going to look at your actions. People are not going to look at what you say. They're going to look at what you do. And if you're a Christian and you're posting everywhere, I'm a Christian, and you are posting things that are anti-Bible at the same time, you are leading people so far away from God. And we need to get back to God. We need to get closer to God. We need to realize that He is the only one that can help us in this time. People are losing their minds. People are going crazy in this time. Like, you cannot even imagine. People are committing suicide. People are depressed. And we need to step up. We need to be the light of the world, the salt of the earth, as said in the Bible. It is now, Christian, that we need to rise up. Wake up from your slumber. The world needs you. The world needs you. And we are going to end on that note today. This has been Nolzi Lee signing out for another week with peace and love from our loving, godly, amazing Father in heaven. Peace out and God bless you. Bye.